Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are picking up pretty much exactly where we left off at the end of the previous stream. I had just launched, after much frustrations, this vessel that is getting itself into a Mun Flyby. That is the plan. I've already set up the burn that's going to get me scooting past the moon, and then putting me into this orbit, which you can see is not really getting me back to Kerbal, but don't worry, we'll deal with that in just a little bit. For those people that are kind of new to this, here, let me focus this view. If you want this to be a free return trajectory, all you have to do is put your periapsis out further away from the moon, and you'll find that this periapsis will come down, and then you can come back for free. But my plan is to fix this situation because I want to get myself into near space and collect myself some more science. So welcome. This is what I like to call, let's get back to here, my Beautified stock stream. So just to reassure everybody, everything here can be done as a stock game. All I have done is added in beautification mods, for the most part, that have changed things, including the part texture. Sometimes people see these parts, like for instance the materials bay or the Science Junior looks quite a lot different, and people, oh, is that a different one? No, it looks different, but it operates in exactly the same way. And I've also added in some UI type of mods. Like for instance here I have Contracts Windows Plus, which gives me a nice big view of the contract that I have to satisfy, and I just find it way better than but of course there's nothing here that's adding functionality, just looks nicer. And I think it's nicer for the stream as well. Before we get going though any further, I do want to recognize on our Discord we hold a, just gotta find the right, there we go. We hold a weekly challenge, and you have to submit a screenshot. So every week I like to recognize the winner, and our winner this week is right here. It's Ivo. I'm gonna go with Ivo, and I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but the theme of this one was just simply to get a picture of the moon arc. This one is the KSP1 moon arc. Could have been done in KSP1 or KSP2. So congratulations, Ivo, to our winner. Let's get going here with our stream. So what I have done, what have I done in the interim? Pretty much nothing. I did, you know what, I'll point it out later. Let's get ready to do this burn. I think that's the main thing that I'm going to be doing here. So we'll time warp to our burn. Oh, excellent. I said it right. I am glad. Okay, we'll put ourselves onto that maneuver node. We only have Bob aboard. I was having all kinds of trouble getting this thing into orbit because I had originally on the top of this the round P capsule that comes with the making history, and the aerodynamics of it just wasn't cooperating. I wanted it because it held 2 Kerbals, and then I finally just said, nope, the heck with this, and put it on the standard Mark 1 single crew capsule, and so that was it. Once that was done, it got into orbit easily. I haven't said goodbye to the P, but it needs to have a fairing to go around it to get it to go into orbit with any kind of help. So anyway, we got this burn. We got what, 10 seconds now, and it's going to be a 49-second burn. It is most certainly KSP1. I forgot to mention that. Let's just start the burn here. This is KSP1. I did a poll saying this week, do we want me to do a one-off KSP2 stream just to talk about what's been fixed since the last patch? And it was, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but almost 2-to-1 on that poll was, nope, stick with KSP1. So I'm sticking with KSP1. I'll probably do a KSP2 stream when there is a major update, something really big has changed. But for the most part, I'm just going to stick with KSP1. I'm not planning on jumping over to KSP2 until there's really not just bug fixes, but just some sort of campaign mode. I'm a big fan of campaign mode, and I gotta really pay attention to what I'm doing, so I'm slowing this down. Oh, I turned it off. That's never a good plan. There we go. Watch that. Until it gets around. Yeah, let's flip around. I'm going to flip this around the other way. I want this to be around 12. I want to spend as much time as I can in near space, so we're going to just... And to really get this actually fine-tuned, all you got to do is go in here, turn the thrust limiter down. Go back to map view, and then I'll just bring this down. So I just flipped the rocket around. That's good. Now, the one thing I do have to be a little careful about with this rocket is solar panels. Put back in orbit view. There we go. Is because I kind of tucked them inside here. So I do have to make sure that I have my open doorways always pointed towards the sun, or else this thing's going to be... get into trouble with electricity. Let's get into high space. So today, yeah, we're gonna do this Mun Flyby thing. Let's see here. I'll EVA Bob. One thing I did do, by the way, is I was having issues with the suit textures. They're really getting messed up, and it seems like the only thing that works is keeping them on the sort of standard suit texture. So I just have it on the boring. If I go to any of the alternate suit textures, I start to have funny. I think it is texture replacer that's messing it up. It's the same thing that's giving me the different Kerbal faces. You can see Bob doesn't look like the standard Kerbal. I think I've done this before. I have. Why am I out here? Let's run a material study. Let's run a material study here. I've been in high space before, but we'll do a little bit 8.2 science there because Bob can collect that science. You can get a really good look inside there too. Yeah, remove it, and then we can restore it because Bob is a scientist. See all kinds of fun stuff in there. What's over on the other side? There's a goo. There'll be a little bit of goo I can get. Oh, it's down low, way over here. I was about to say I should put a little ladder piece here for Bob to hold on to, but I don't think I've unlocked that yet. Ladders are way too sophisticated for our Kerbals. That's probably a teeny amount of science, 3.5 science, so collect that. Yeah, remove the data. Restore the goo. We're ready. When we're in the moon, the real science is going to happen. Nothing on the pressure scan, and I suspect nothing on the temperature scan too. That is correct. Okay. And board. A little bit of science there. Is there a crew report? I doubt it. Nope, there isn't. Okay, so let's get ourselves out towards the moon. And we'll look at how I'm going to fix this situation, so we will come back towards Kerbin. But right now, I'm just going to right-click around here somewhere and just say warp to here. Here we go. Okay. All right. And just waiting for the time warpy to stop there. Can also, oh, it is done. And are we there yet? No, still a few more minutes. Oh, whoa. Put the buttons in the right spot. Okay. You can always tell when you're in the moon's SOI by just watching the Navball, and you'll get it switching. Did it switch? Nope, there it goes. It just switched. Okay, and then we can kill the time warp. And now, well, we got all kinds of science. We are now in the moon's SOI. So, whoops, I hit the heat shield. We can do a crew report. 10 science there. Do a observation. That flag. I got to take that flag off in the VAB. That's really getting on my nerves. Grab that. Not going to transmit any of this because there's no advantage to transmitting it. We're going to be going home anyway. At least that's the plan. I mean, unless you're worried about, unless you want to get something in the bank because you're worried about your mission. Temperature scan. None of this is biome specific, so material study. So we're going to collect all of these just once, but then we'll be doing a lot when we get into low space. 50 science there. EVA Bob. Bob can do an EVA report. 16 science and collecting time. Just sort of to show people. Look at all the lovely stuff in there. I can't get over how I love all this crystal stuff, and looks like, I don't know, something on a moldy. Oh no, sandwich here. Whatever. Okay. Collect that data. Restore it. We gotta go around the other side, I believe. Nope, nope. It's down, just down low. Okay, we'll take the pressure scan, we'll take the temperature, we'll take the goo and restore the goo. Definitely want to have a scientist for this mission so that you can keep just restoring those experiments. You need a scientist to restore the material, or the science junior. I know I call it materials bay and people get confused by that, but I don't know. I must have got it from somewhere. I don't think I made it up. And take the crew report out of here so that it'll get restored so we can do another crew report. There we go. So we're all in there. Now let's move this so that, just want to make sure we got to fly by the moon, got to gather some science data. I could transmit some, why don't we review the data? I'm sure there was something that was 100% transmittable. There we go. Let's transmit this EVA report. There we go. That checks off that one. And now we just got to get our Kerbal back home. That's Chatterer making all of those noises. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay, so how do we get ourselves back? The best way to get ourselves back on this trajectory so that this periapsis is in the atmosphere. The most efficient, what you don't want to do is ride all the way out to here. That's like 14 days in the future. The easy, oh, I noticed my periapsis changed. Okay, notice that? I'm crashing into the moon. That ain't good. Best way to fix this is actually probably radially outwards. The rate, like we're going off in this direction here. So I'm looking for this little teal guy with the lines going out is the radially out vector. And the radially out vector, if I get back on my ship, is this direction this way. This direction this way, perpendicular to your trajectory, is the radially in. So I'm going to go radially out. You could also burn a little bit of prograde, but I'm going to burn radially out. Okay, just a little bit. Got a little bit of a change. Sometimes that happens when you time warp and cross SOIs. Just realized my thrust limiter is still way down, so there we go. Alright, don't want to hit the moon. Okay, Bomb, let's fix that thrust limiter. Should that be full? I always like to look at my thrust to... Oh, it's moon thrust to weight ratio. I hate that it does. Oh, well, whatever. Okay, and I'll check my... solar panel. I'm doing a really bad job of finding... There we go! I don't know why. I like this to be pointing straight up on the screen. And then turning this so that the solar panels are getting some okay solar exposure. Okay, so now's the plan. The best plan for getting yourself back to Kerbin in this situation is to put your maneuver right around periapsis. General rule of thumb, if you're going to do a prograde or a retrograde burn, you're almost always better off doing it right near periapsis, and then we're going to burn prograde, and as you can see, as I burn prograde, that brings that periapsis down towards Kerbin. And I want to get it down around 35 kilometers. And I'm hoping, oh, we're going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I maybe should have, I don't think I budgeted for this. Oh, my godly. Oh boy, Bob might need to go out and push. I'm just looking at this. I went a little too far. Let's put it on the scale here. I did not do a very good budget. I don't think I budgeted for this burn at all, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I budgeted for a completely free return. I should have added on A few hundred more. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? We're going to make it. We're going to make it. You want to be right on the periapsis too. So you want to play around with the timing so that this is exactly on the periapsis. You can tell you're on the periapsis by just where you're, when you're lowest to Kerbin. See, now I'm hitting it again. But we got it. I don't want to play around so much. So 35 kilometers. Now I do have, and I'm not sure if this is being pointed out in the chat yet, I do have a little bit of a challenge in that my pilot is not a pilot. My pilot is a scientist. And so we have a probe body hidden in here. It's in there somewhere. And the probe body is really what's doing the flying. And when we come in behind, if we're going around the moon in a retrograde direction, which we are right now, we're going to be at this burn in the communication shadow, right? We're going to be behind the moon, and I'm not convinced I'll be able to do much of anything, because in the settings, if I go to settings and I go to custom, and if I go to advanced, I have here require signal strength for control. If I have that toggled on, you can do nothing with a probe if it's got no signal from Kerbin. I'm not really sure if bomb makes a difference or not. I'm worried that he doesn't. I'm going to fix this the easy way, because all of a sudden I click that on because that's what I do in my own games. But then in my own games I have Kerbal operating system, which is a programming language which can perform the burns for me. So I'm going to actually take that off. This is supposed to be for newbies, for goodness sakes. I shouldn't be turning on all this harder stuff. So I'm going to take that off so that I will have limited control when we get to this burn. If, by the way, you don't want to do that, the fix of it is to bring the maneuver out so that you can see Kerbin from it. So bring it out to about here and do it, but it'll be a little less efficient that way. Okay, so there's what we got to do. So next, we got this burn coming up in 1 hour and 24 minutes. I'm going to do a quick save, and then we're going to do some time warping. Yeah, there's most certainly a probe core in here. It's what's giving me the SAS. Bob would have no SAS without a probe core. So I want to get down to near space. That's when we're going to be able to do more science. And it always escapes me what near space is around Kerbin, or around the moon. I'm thinking 36? No, maybe 60? I don't know. Let's slow down. I think it's 36. Why do I have 36 in my head? You do have to watch this burn, though, of course. We do want to make sure we hit that. So 60, says John. Thank you. Oh, 60 with a question mark. Okay, so the way we're going to tell is I'm going to wait till we pop just below 60. Going to pop just below 60 here. How do I get the Navball over here to the side, I'm being asked? That's in the settings. That's not a mod. That's a setting. Go into your settings, you'll find. I'll show it in a second, but I got this burn coming up. I'm being asked how do you get the Navball to the side, which actually is one of those common questions I get. Okay, so what I'm going to do is once I get below 60, I'm going to do a crew report. And then we're going to read it. And it says space near the moon. Hooray. Okay, that's good. So we did a crew report. Going to EVA Bob really quick. The EVA reports are biome specific. So you want to grab as many of these as you can while you're in this limited time in here. Let's do a material study. Open the material study and open the goo. There. Thermometer, log temperature. That's just space near, not biome specific. And log those. I'll collect those in a little bit. I got 2 minutes to my burn. Let's EVA bomb right away. See, does he have another one? So now I'm over the east far side crater. That's different. Awesome. Store that guy. I'll collect all this stuff once we're done the burn. But I want to see. Okay, I think I'm going to be over the east far side crater for a little while. Yeah. Oh, and I was asked about the Navball. Go to settings. Go to settings. It's down here. There it is. Navball position left and right. I had to just look for the one that's all the way to left. See, and you just, that's it. I way prefer it off to the side here. I'm so glad in KSP2 they put it off to the side. I mean, it just, I don't know, takes up valuable beauty real estate sitting in the middle. Okay, we probably are going to be over the east far side crater for a while. Got Highlands and east far side crater. Got to remember that. Okay, let's get ready for our burn. The east far side crater is, yeah, we're still over it. It doesn't end until we get to this ridge over here. And that's going to be too close to when we're going to do our burn, so. Okay, let's get on to our maneuver node. Just get ready for this. My control, yeah. Oh, actually, but I was able to. Okay, that's really interesting. So I'm not quite sure. I'm going to do an experiment once this is done. Yeah, I have no signal right now. Let me do the burn, and then we'll do an experiment. Okay, we're off. I'm going to stop it a little early and kind of see what our situation is. Okay, and then we'll go out here and we'll look at our, let's just delete this. Look at our delete. Oh, it won't let me delete it because I don't have a signal. Okay, I'm not sure I can then, you're a poopy pants. That's an official word. I don't know which of these periapsi is which one. There's two of them. Like, does this change? No. Okay, I think I overcooked it a little bit. Okay, forget it. It won't let me delete this because I don't have a signal. Bob doesn't have the authority to do that. But I'm noticing I'm able to, like, swing this around despite the fact that I thought I would have limited probe control, only being able to do, well, I don't know. I had full throttle control. Oh, what, am I time warping? Or is it just, no, it's not. I've just added that much speed. Okay, EVA. EVA, I got too much stuff happening all at the same time. EVA report. Moon's Midlands. Yep, grab that, Bob. Good job, Bob. Okay, still have no signal. I'm just going to really quickly go into settings, go to here, go to here. This is an experiment. Accept that. So now I have it that I should have no probe control. It's fine. Whatever. Okay, I don't think I needed to turn that off because I got Bob in here. Okay, whatever. I think that was unnecessary. I have the same amount of control as I had with that toggled off because of Bob. EVA report. I think that's Midlands. I think I already got that, right? Store it. Yeah. Board. Dump the experiment. Already got that one. Let's see. I got until we're at 60 kilometers to collect as many EVA reports as I can. That's my goal. EVA report. We got Midlands, Highlands, and that far east crater. Midlands again. That's no good. Board. Oh, we should be having our signal back. Yep. Now I can delete this. Okay. Oh. Back to here. How? Oh, I can't see anything. I don't know about you. I was hoping to see if I could see any biomes coming up. No, 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 no. It was confused. I'd already done the burn. We're fine. We're fine. More Midlands. I'd love to get one more EVA report. That would be super. Lowlands! Oh boy! Now I want 2 more EVA reports. So we got Highlands, Midlands, Lowlands, and the East, Far East Crater, or whatever it's called. Something like that. Lowlands again. We're going to be out of near space pretty soon. Midlands again. Midlands again. Sometimes you can get things like the Midland craters and the Highland craters. And there are tiny little biomes kind of scattered about. Lowlands again. Okay, we're going to get a couple more and that's going to be it. Okay, one more. Lowlands again. Okay, that's it. All right. Bob, you did good. Let's collect all of our science-y goodness, because we are all scienced out. So we are going to collect. Always make sure you don't hit reset, because I can't go back and get that now. And I can restore it, even though I don't think I'll be doing anymore. And over here we have this stuff. Collect. Remove the data. Restore it. Collect. I often get people mentioning too in my tutorials, why don't I use the science storage unit? If you get the science storage unit, which by the way I don't have unlocked yet, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm done. Grab. Board. The science storage unit, you can collect all the science into the storage unit without having to do EVAs. I think part of that's just habit on my part, but part of it also is just I kind of like doing EVAs, so... Okay, now that I've deleted that node, what is our situation back on Kerbal? It's a little low. It's not, I got some fuel. Why don't I fix it? So I'm going to turn the thrust limiter way down. Put it on retrograde, because prograde's what brought it down, so retrograde's going to bring it up. I don't know why. I'm stuck on like 35. There we go. And the rest of this is just going to be riding it home. We have all of our science stored away. Again, I like to just go in here and look for whether it says review data. Because if it says review data, that means that there's still data in there. I'm going to orient this for our solar panels. Like so. That should do it. Alright, let's head home. So say goodbye to the moon. Put this on free, because it always looks better on free. There we go. Bye-bye, moon. Bye-bye, moon. I like the Mun Flyby contract. It's a really nice, simple contract to for a lot of science. And you don't have to build yourself a particularly large ship, too. Alright, so watching obviously my altitude here. Let's get ourselves ready for the plunge, as it were. If you EVA away from the spaceship and finish the mono, what happens? Does the Kerbal... Oh, you mean like if you do an EVA? I think I know what you mean. So I let go. And this here is empty. Then your EVA, your Kerbal has nothing. Like you have no way to move that Kerbal around anymore, to adjust that Kerbal's trajectory. So that Kerbal's in some trouble. Now, will he die? Kerbals need no life support, so he'll be in that orbit until, you know, something happens. You might need to want to do a rescue contract, but he won't be able to rescue himself. One important thing to realize, though, with that is that every time you come back into the capsule, that monopropellant or EVA propellant storage magically refills, and it's infinite. You'll never run out of it. So just make sure you can get back in. And you'll be fine. You'll never run out. Okay. Let's stage. Boink. And SAS back on. Oh, we have no SAS. Oh, yes. Now we get to know what Bob's really like. I just staged my probe body. It's not a big deal. I just staged my probe body, so I have no more SAS. Bob is on his own. But the nice thing is the natural aerodynamics of the capsule will... Oh! That was a good one. The natural aerodynamics of the capsule will keep it oriented right. The parachute is armed, so it will open when it's safe to do so. And all we got to do now is return. This one goes green. Lots of money. Lots of science. Yeah, does the Kerbal die while a certain distance away from the main ship? No. Nope. Kerbals can orbit somewhere forever. Alright, here, I can do some time warping here. I've sometimes had people tell me that they come back from the moon and I'm gonna knock on wood and run into explosions and they blow up on re-entry and they say they have a heat shield and everything, and I've never even come close to that happening. And I'm not quite sure. They say they're following my instructions precise, and I don't know what they're doing. Hello there, Javier. I'm glad you made it. We are returning from our flyby of the moon with a bucket load of science. Probably have a bucket load of world firsts here too. Speed records and flybys. We've escaped the gravitational influence of Kerbal. We've gathered some science from the moon. Now we've escaped the gravitational influence of the moon. Of course, these guys for our contracts, or for the portions that we've done so far. Yeah, John's saying, I bet they're, here, let me untime warp this, returning from too low an altitude. Like they got their periapsis too low. They say they don't. I have always advocated 35 kilometers. The other thing I wonder too is if they've done some sort of really strange escape from the moon, so that, which we'll talk about in some future stream for sure, but in my tutorials I talk about it, where they're coming in really hot, like they did a really high burn in the moon. I don't know, they wanted to get back really quickly and so they're coming in with a lot more speed. But as you can see here, we are fine. Okay, is there, and he is, I'm gonna let's EVA him. Okay, he was bobbing pretty good there, but no, I still, okay, I gotta ask, okay. I was wondering if I got, I always forget from week to week what I've got and what I don't have, and I was wondering if I can do surface samples yet, and I can't. Yeah, Kerbals don't care about oxygen. What do you need oxygen for? Well, thank you, Sully. It's appreciated. I do like, you know, everybody likes hearing people say they like their stuff. So if you like my stuff, don't worry about telling me. I like hearing that. Let's see. 452 science earned. We're now up to 594. Ooh, that's so exciting. Okay, so that is pretty awesome. And Bob is now a level 1 scientist. And of course, we got more. That's for the contract and return from the moon. Yep. We returned from a flyby of the moon. Okay, let's take a look at contracts before I go in there and start spending science. Well, we do have the, I guess, the next logical step. I bet you this is orbit the moon. It's orbit the moon. That would seem like the next logical step. So why don't I grab that fella? Grab that fella. And I also have tourists. I was thinking, I got another tourist contract. Oh, it's another suborbital one. Do I have other tourists? Usually by now you're seeing the tourists want to go into orbit. There we go. Here I have some tourists wanting to go into orbit. Might grab that. We'll see. Science from space around the moon. These are easy. If you're going to go do an orbit around the moon, why not grab this one? You're going to be there. So science data from space around the moon. I plan on going back to the moon, so we'll grab that. I'm up to 4. And you know what I think I'll do? Is I think I'll grab... This one has potential. I've done a few of these observational surveys. I don't know if I'm going to do this all this stream. We'll see what we get to. But I've done a few of these observational surveys, but I made sure all of them said below a certain distance because those are much easier. But notice this one does have an above. So I want to show people a really easy way to do the aboves if they're not too far away and if you only have like one of them. So what I might just do, let's just note this one. I want to look at where the waypoints are. So this is Ionic. What are some of these names? Suki's Legacy. Let's look for Suki's Legacy, and I always want to, before I accept it, I want to know where these waypoints are. Suki's Legacy. Because if it's way over on the other side of the planet, like it looks like a lot of these are. Where is the K... Why am I... So, there we go. There's the KS. Okay, what are these? Jebediah. Oh, they're... Yeah, they're on the other side of the planet. I'm not going to grab those. I'm not going to go flying all the way over to here. That's just a ton of string. Oh, my... Oh, look at the... Oh, my gosh. These... Oh, they're not... If they're on the ice caps, I'd be considering it. But they're not. I could still land on the ice caps. These are all aboves, too. These are a pain. Like, I don't know what the game is thinking about throwing these at you. They are, like, getting 3 different waypoints being above a certain... Not until you get better jet parts. Flying a rocket all the way over there is a big pain in the back end. Okay, okay, this is an above. They're all above. Okay, okay. No, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'll wait till I have a suitable above one, and I'll show you how to do it. So let's just do a quick scan of contracts, and then we'll decide what we're gonna do next. So, yeah, I said I wasn't gonna do any of those. These are suborbital. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. These are suborbital. I got one of those already. Position a satellite in a specific orbit of Kerbal. Ooh, pretty high altitude. Inclination. Okay, I like this one. I like this one. I might not get to it today, but this is a good one I think to talk about. So we'll grab that too. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy. Let's go spend some science. Let's go spend some science. So, always like to look down here and look like, for instance, the EVA experiments kit. Always looking for more science to gather. Docking ports. Ooh, docking would be fun. Oh, this is the end of... I gotta upgrade the research and development before I can go any further. Repair kits. Some of those surface science stuff. Gear. Hitchhiker can. Okay, let's look up here. Bobcat. Skipper engine. Poodle engine. Again, these have all been retextured, so don't get too confused. The Might... Why... Oh, I'm not gonna... Let's not talk about it. The Spark. I like that engine. Some more small fuel. I want to get some small fuel cans, especially if I'm going to do a little probe. And then some decent sized, nice big fuel cans too. Yep, grab that. I'm going to look at how much. Oh, I got a lot of money. Let's do some upgrades too. Oh, this is all robotics stuff. I'll let people know my robotics. I'm pretty limited, but oh, fairings, that sold that one. Better plane parts, including the props, but I don't know if I want to fiddle with that live. My plane's good enough for now. Yeah. Oh, launch escape system. And I don't know why I think I'm the only one in the world that uses the launch escape system. Bigger heat shields, landing. Oh, the deployable landing gear. Those are a good idea. And the pomegranate. That's the 3-person capsule. Oh. Okay, yeah, this is going to be the last. I shouldn't have been so indiscriminate. But I'm going to grab this one for sure. I love this. This comes with the Making History DLC. The Mark II command pod. It's a 2-person Apollo, but like a Gemini type of capsule, or Gemini, the purists like to say. Okay, so got a lot going on. Can I upgrade this? 450, yes. So let's upgrade the astronaut complex. That's number 1. Going to level... Oh, am I already at level 2? Okay. What do you have to... Oh, it's the astronaut... There's where you do the surface samples. So I'm going to upgrade the astronaut complex just so I can do surface samples. 100%. Yep. So upgrading the astronaut complex not only allows you to go deeper in the tech tree, but it also allows Kerbals to get surface samples. Okay, let's go into here. And let's deal with some Turai. So open up our contracts window. There's all our contracts. Only got 5 of them. So I want to do the tourist one first. So I got these tourists, a suborbital one, and I have orbit. But if they go, you can actually build one craft and do all of this. I think I'm going to build a 2 crewed orbital vehicle and deal with these contracts. That's what I think I'm going to do. And then I'll decide what I want to do. What do you want me to do? Like, what are the other options I got here? I got this Explore the Moon contract, which is do an orbit of the moon. And I have the position a satellite in a specific orbit. So we'll do the tourist one, and then I'll do one of these. Let me know in the chat, and by the time, and I'll just, if it's close, I don't know what I'll do because I'm not going to count. Let's see. We're going to do an orbit. So I'm going to use. This is great. I'm going to use the Mark II, or can I use the pomegranate? The pomegranate can hold up to 3 Kerbals. I also have this guy, this Mark II, which can hold 2 Kerbals, but it's more streamlined. Let's do the Mark. Let's build just a 2-person one. We'll deal with that later. I'll deal with that later. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, new. Oh. Okay. There we go. I'm going to start with this guy. So, we'll put on a parachute on the top. I'm hoping that parachute will be good enough. It looks like it fits on there. I'm going to take the flag off. The flag seems to be misbehaving. Are there different textures? Oh, look at that. All that white. Oh, nice. So this is a stock part. This comes with the Making History DLC. We'll put a 1.875 meter heat shield. I love the 1.875 meter parts. They are super duper. This isn't going to be about science. I've collected a lot of science up there. Make a poll. I don't know how to make a poll right now. Is there a... I mean, just looking at the buttons. Yeah, maybe that's something I should have researched before going into it. I'm not sure how to do a poll off the top of my head. We'll put on a decoupler there. Oh, that is the stack separator. Do I not have the decoupler? TDD. This one. Beautiful. There we go. And I want to build something, I don't know, maybe about 1,200 meters per second. Now I do have like these 1.875 meter tanks. And we do have, what are some nice engines? I guess I could still stick with the Terrier. Yeah, I guess I am. What's that do for me? Put this on vacuum. That's not quite enough. I need more fuel. What do I could do? Do I have a structural... That's the big one, yeah. I'm looking for something that goes from 0.875. Maybe it's this one? No. Really? They don't give me something that go from... Okay, you're going to be a poopy pants. Fine. Fine. Be that way. Okay, I'll grab the... Oh, maybe it's under fuel cans. This guy? This guy. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. There we go. How's that do with the Terrier on the bottom? 1,200. See, this is 1482. That's more kind of what I'm looking at. Okay, let's go back to the bigger one. I should have looked at the Delta V, actually, or the thrust to weight too. Make sure that this is 1.21. That's beautiful. There we go. That's the beginning of a nice little orbiter. Now, what I do want to do is put in the 1.25 meter service bay. Open that up. Because this is going to hold tourists, not necessarily pilots, I'm going to stick a probe body in there. Looking like the Octo probe cores going in there. And we'll do the same thing with a bunch of batteries. I guess I can just stick a 200 on the bottom. And solar panels. I'm going to use the same trick, even though I was complaining about making sure before, but... Oh, I'm pushing the reroute tool. Dummy, don't do that. That's the root part. I meant to push that tool. So that we can slide these over a little bit. And there. Slide these that way. Doesn't need an antenna. This isn't going to go far. It's not going to transmit science, so I think that should be good. And yeah, I think that should work. And now, at the bottom of your chat window is a plus button. I was looking at that. Engage with your audience. Oh, start a poll. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is all okay. This is learning on the fly. Thank you very much, Web Revolution. So do a poll. So this is going to be what to do next. Tourists. And it's going to. Oh, is it a yes or no, or can I not change? Oh, I can change that. What to do after the tourists. And the other is Mun Orbit. Options are Mun Orbit. Or what was the other option I was talking? Oh yeah, specific orbit. There we go. Boom. Thank you. So that should do poll. There we go. Poll. See where that goes. Guess get back to this, or else I'm not going to be getting to any of that stuff, really. So close that, close that. Let's, okay, that's our orbiter. I like the minimalist engines. There we go. Beautiful. Well, if I'm going to do all that, then that should be dark too. Oh, she's a dark one. Okay. Decoupler. TD-12 decoupler. And I don't think I need to enclose. I think this is plenty streamlined enough. I don't really see an issue here. Now I need to get up and around. Put that there. Let's see what it's like just with one of these guys. Maybe two of them. This might be too heavy. What engines do I got? I still don't have the... Yeah, that's still my most powerful liquid fuel engines, the Reliant. What's that do for me? Delta V's in the right ballpark. Thrust to weight, it's a little... So you know what we're going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. That's a little bit too... I'm looking just getting this to be about a thrust to weight around 2 in a vacuum, and so all I'm doing is taking away or adding fuel cans. There we go, 2 right on the button. So that this will be kind of the intermediate stage, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some boosters on it. And what I was doing before was putting on like SRBs, like for instance the hammers for boosters, but I saw after the fact a comment someone making, might I humbly suggest using liquid fuel boosters, and you're 100% right for the person who was suggesting liquid fuel boosters last week. The liquid fuel engines are way better than the SRBs are cheaper, but if you just get into here, maybe grab... I'm not even going to get into asparagus staging. That's a word. Don't tell me it's not. But then maybe like... I'll talk about asparagus staging in the future, but this is more expensive. If I can bloody grab the thing. Oh, I'm grabbing the ant engine. Grab the swivel engine. There we go. Put all... No, I'm going to even keep it simple. So that's plenty of thrust. Plenty of delta V, probably if anything a little bit too much delta V. You can even get this more efficient with getting into asparagus staging, but I'll save that for a future stream. What I'm going to do instead is just kind of scale this down. It was like too much delta V. But then these guys are gimbaled and you have way more attitude control, way more ability to steer your rocket. This is great. This is great. 3711 meters per second. Don't need more than that. Don't need more than that. Put some nose cones on the top. Slide them down on the decouplers. They're about the same size. Now they are. They're more expensive than the SRBs. They're about the same size as the hammers, but I think more... Ah, for pity's sake, come on. Just wanted to move them down a little bit so all the engine bells are sort of more or less in the same zone. There we go. But because these guys will have more control, I won't have to get into big fins or anything like that. I should be able to just use like these small basic tail fins on here, and then that should be enough. Maybe for good measure, a set of reaction wheels. I got the advanced ones now. Ooh, nice. And whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, the staging's messed up. 3680 is a little bit on the low side. Well, no, it's not. But for again, I'm gonna say this is for newbies. Let's put on. Why not put on more? Make this thing really easy. 3827. This thing will be really easy to get into orbit. Beautiful, beautiful. Slide these down a little more this way. Slide these up a little more this way. Let's get some launch clamps. I have them, right? I do. A lot of people like to launch these at the same time. There's no reason you can't, but I don't know. I like to start the engine and then release the clamps. This should do it. Very expensive boosters, though, Bravo says, and he's absolutely right. They are, but I don't know about you. I got 330, whatever. Whatever. Money. Money's not a problem. Okay, tourists are going to give us money. Like, if we're going to, like, let's look at our tourist contracts. They deserve the best, right? If we take a look at our tourist contracts here, I will pop them both onto the same one. See, they're going to give us a ton of money, more than paying for those boosters. They deserve them. Yes, they do. Okay, let's tweak TWR. So this is a TWR in the middle core of 1.98. This guy, I want it to be at sea level about 1.3. So I'm only going to launch. There we go, 1.33. I'm only going to put these two engines on at launch, and then this Reliant engine comes on afterwards. More efficient is to have all three go on at launch, use a little asparagus staging, but I'll talk about that. Yeah, I know, I'm already getting the comment about asparagus. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. We're keeping it simple. Maybe next week. Next week we'll talk about asparagus staging. Okay, let's, these are dark. Dark and dangerous boosters. Oh, and we're going to put on the boat tails. Is there a dark boat tail? There is. And boat tail down here. Keep that like that. Not like that. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, so let's, oh, I did put a pro body in it. So this is the tourist mobile. Not really a mobile, but, you know. We put tourists in it. Let's look. Who do we got here? Let's do the orbit one first. So, Rosbree. Sorry, I know Jeb and Bill really want to go in this thing, but Rosbree's going in. And Anald is going in. There he is. Ambald. Whatever. Ambald's going in. Okay. Alright, so I'm really just considering just pushing this thing off the pad and going. Let's go. So, launch. Launch. Bill is yet to be in space, but we're already firing tourists. Actually, I'm pretty sure Valentina hasn't been in orbit yet either. Okay. I'm seeing way back about a heat shield. I did put a heat shield in. I did. Alright, so... that. And as always, this is a test unless it works, in which case we're going for it. So, and off. plumes coming from the Waterfall mod, and same with the engine sounds. We'll wait till about 50 meters per second. We'll tap it over. No, that lovely control. I just try turning off SAS and just seeing how this thing just sort of tracks. So right now my hands are completely off the keyboard, and I'm just sort of letting it follow that prograde vector, seeing what it does. Might want to put on a SAS. Well, it's starting to roll for some reason, so let's put SAS back on. I'll steer it, fine. And we're on to the next one. And if this all works well with tourists, I might modify this. This might become a nice little design for things like going up to space stations and all of that kind of stuff. So just more or less following that prograde vector up. Going to reduce throttle here a little bit as we get close to 45 seconds. It's nicer when you get that locked prograde button, but that doesn't come until you have better probe bodies. So I'm going to try and keep this time to apoapsis pretty much a constant. Staying on the prograde. Let's try turning off SAS again, see what it does. A good rocket really should just follow that prograde vector while it's in an atmosphere, without you having to do much of anything. Okay. Less on the throttle again. A little bit of heating effects. Not too bad. Those will go away in a moment. Oh! Ran out on that stage onto the Terrier, so I have to increase throttle because this is a much lower thrust to weight ratio now. I'm noticing I'm losing time here a little bit. Now it seems to, maybe pitch up a bit. Oh, whoa, whoa, SAS on. Here we go. Pitch up a little bit. It's getting a little too close to apoapsis. My cat is sniffing the crew. They're very, very good smell. Well, look, especially Ambient. Look at, he's like, I think he would smell good. Just looking at him. All right, reducing throttle again. So you're not suborbital until your apoapsis gets above 70 kilometers. That should be the suborbital part of this. And then the orbit part's getting the periapsis above that, above 70 kilometers. It's a lovely capsule for those people that have not seen it. It's really nice on the inside too. I love these windows. Whoops. Cockpit back. There we go. Okay, so where are we here? I'm gonna just reduce. Sometimes when you do this whole like reducing throttle thing, you end up really kind of skimming across the top of the atmosphere. The thing to do is just reduce your throttle even more. And you still have vertical speed, so just let yourself get up higher in the atmosphere. You don't have to put that much energy into raising your apoapsis anymore, but if you look, I'm putting in a lot of energy into raising my periapsis, so. And if you don't, you know, there's nothing wrong with just punching straight up, too. I should really just realize that. You know, not doing this reduced throttle thing. That's my next plan, by the way, for the... some people may have noticed I dropped a KSP2 tutorial video, very short, only about 6 minutes. And I got another one planned, and I'll probably drop it next week. Still doing tutorials for KSP1, don't worry about it. And they're much more bigger and involved in involving contracts and all of that kind of stuff. But the next KSP2 one will be doing orbits, which is the same as what it is here. But I'll be doing it in levels, so, you know, I'm kind of doing, you know, you don't have to do this reduced thrust thing. It just makes it more efficient. I don't know. I find it looks a little nicer. Okay, we're at 83 kilometers on the apoapsis. A little bit more like a real launch. I find it just a smidge more satisfying. I don't know if that's... Probably, it's just me. I don't know why I bought putting the solar panels on there, because this thing's going to be coming down as soon as we're done with this. Just got to get ourselves out of the atmosphere. And then to... Alright, so times web revolution, that does not deserve a comment. Though I guess I just commented on it, didn't I? Alright, going on a prograde. Yeah, I'm never going to even open these doors for the solar panels. But like I said, this might be just the basic design, and I might build something around it, put docking ports on it, things like that. Get it something that I can use as kind of a low Kerbal orbit ferry. Okay, we're going to get just, I don't know, 5 seconds away from. Start throttling up here. I barely have to bring up my periapsis at all. So I can see the suborbital part's gone green, and now the orbital part's gone green. And I guess the contract is complete? I think it is. Do I have to bring... Oh, I have to bring them back. Okay, we'll come back. Fine. Come back. Okay. So again, I'm going to try and put it in the ocean here, and I find the best plan for our generally landing is try and pick a spot to always start your descents from when you're in low orbit. So for instance, because I'm playing with the DLCs, I do have these alternate launch sites. I have the Woomerang launch sites right along this peninsula. I'm going to position myself right along that. So that's my common spot I'm always going to start my descent burn from. Then I'm going to put it on the retrograde. And then I'm going to reduce my periapsis to, I don't know, maybe 40 kilometers. I'm just guessing. So about 40 kilometers, and then we'll just do it, and we'll see where we end up. And if it turns out that I end up like way over here, I can go, oh, okay, next time I'm going to bring my periapsis down further. And if it turns out that I come really short, oh, next time I'll bring my periapsis up higher. And that's a way to sort of dial that in. Okay, and we shall stage, and of course now we have absolutely zero control. Oh, well, am I? No, I do have electric. Oh, are there no reaction wheels in this thing? There are. I have nothing. I guess because there's tourists, I have nothing. I don't even have. Okay, fine. This thing's just. But again, aerodynamics will take care of everything for us. We'll see where we end up. Okay, how is our pole up here doing? I can see... Oh, there we go. That's how you open the whole thing. Okay. So the moon is in a slight lead. A slight lead. By the way, whatever one I do not do, I'll be doing the other one afterwards. Probably next stream, next week. Ah, stable 2. That's why you have to sort of generally get it pointing in the right direction with, you know, the right end down. Because it can be stable the other way around. That's what John's pointing out in the chat. There is a stable 2 with the pointy end forward. So if you start with the pointy end forward, it might find itself stable that way. And that's clearly bad. So just generally get the blunt end forward. And then aerodynamics takes over from that. That'd be toasty. Yeah, it also would probably be unhealthy for this parachute, which is... Oh, where did we end up? I'm not even paying attention. Where did we end up? See, that's not bad. So next time I might go a little bit lower, maybe like 38 kilometers. Maybe that'll get me a little closer to the... Oh no, I came short. I'm on the wrong side here, so maybe 45 kilometers. I'm way short. Wow. There you go. And tourists can't EVA or do anything for you, so we're just going to splash and recover. Boosh. Ooh, well, it looked like it was in the process of sinking. You do get more money. That's very true. Pointed out in the chat there. You do get more money. The closer you are to the KSC, the more money you get upon recovery. I can actually even point it out to you now. So there's a little bit of science we got for some reason. But here, we got 88.9% of our value because we were 193.9 kilometers from the KSC. If we are closer, the number's a little bit higher. You can see, though, it's not a huge deal. All right, let's recover these launch clamps. I hate the fact that I gotta recover those. Let's do the other tourists. And this is going to be the same vehicle. So, other tourists. Chadsey and Sondok. Chassis and... Chassis? I can't. I'm already forgetting their names. Chadsey and Sondok. Now these two just need to go suborbital. So all we're gonna do, honestly, I'm gonna get super late. We're going straight up. I'm just gonna cut the engines when I'm bored. We're just gonna keep an eye on the apoapsis. We're gonna go more or less straight up. Maybe angle a little bit towards the water here. A little bit, just like that. And also, so our boosters don't fall back on our buildings. It's always kind of nice. But I'm just going until the apoapsis cracks 80, so it's suborbital. I'm not going to go for an orbit. We're just going to come more or less straight down again. It's a waste of a rocket. I agree it is a waste of a rocket, but sometimes my laziness will prevail. I do have a really cheap suborbital rocket because I think our second mission, my second mission was to do a suborbital, go get into space. So I do have a really cheap suborbital rocket that's just SRBs. But I don't care, I'm cheap. I generally don't find money that tight in this game. You know, like really? So I don't really, you know, I put a lot of energy into getting as much science as I can. Money, yeah, whatever. All right. Oh, you're saying to build a plane to go suborbital. Well, technically, all you got to do is jump in your suborbital. But, there we go. That'll do. And, oh, wow. This is going to be... We're going to throw away that whole bottom part. You know, all you got to do is jump in your suborbital. So, you know, this shouldn't be necessary, but it is. You got to cross the Kerman line. All right, so 70, and that's that. We just need to get them back safely. Gonna push off this whole... I changed the staging, so all of this is gonna get thrown away. Bye. Uh-oh, uh-oh. And oh no, now I have... Okay. Oh, now we're getting into an interesting... I forgot once I do that, I have no more control. What was John talking about with his stable 2 position? Oh, you know what I can do? Is you can cheat this whole thing, of course, with the magic of time warping. Once it's sort of pointed right, I can time warp to freeze it that way. I'd love to see an aerospike engine introduced in KSP2. I think we're going to be getting a lot of different kinds of engines in KSP2. Right now in KSP2, there's really... Well, there's less. There's less than what's in KSP1. I was stunned that they took away the teeny tiny little RCS thruster blocks. Like, what the heck? Those little tiny ones are great. Why would you take them away? I use them more than I use the big ones. Actually, that's not true, because they put in all kinds of structural parts that are new. And I think a bigger nuclear engine, which is... KSP1 could definitely use a bigger nuclear engine. Alright. So we're going to cover these guys. I'm looking at the poll. I'm going to be... Well, I'll officially end the poll when I recover this, but it really does kind of look like 57 votes. 61% are saying Moon. So, Moon it is. Mun Orbit. That's what we're going for. Boosh. Now, does this sync? No, it doesn't sync. I thought for a second it was syncing before. Okay. So, yeah, it was a very expensive suborbital launch. What are my favorite video games other than KSP? Geez, that's a good question. Right now, I'm not really playing anything else other than KSP. I'm just eager to be doing something else that doesn't involve being on the computer. But you know, I'm a big fan of sort of action adventure RPGs. Here, let's get rid of all of these. Every once in a while, I actually just recently went through all of the Mass Effect. Not all of them, sorry. The first 3 Mass Effect games again. Big fan of the Half-Life series. Played those a bunch of times. Trying to think what else that I've put in a ton of time with. I'm sure something will come to me after this. Okay, let's send a couple of Kerbals to the moon. Oh, Subnautica. I put an obscene amount of time into Subnautica. I'm thinking of games that are at least relatively recent. Let's send some Kerbals to the moon. That's what we're going to do. So this poll is done. The moon has won. And we're going thermal. There we go. Heat shield on the bottom of that. And the TD18 decoupler. It's the 1.875 meter decoupler. Okay. And what do I got for a service bay? Do I have... there is this guy. It's 150 kilograms. So that's not so bad. How big is this? Just thinking of what to... Does this open? Oh, it's got a shroud on. Oh, it's like that. Okay. Let me consider this I'll consider that. I'm just thinking something to stick in science-y stuff, but it's going to be pretty hard to stick. Did I really not get the... Oh, I do have the science, that thing too. Okay. The heck with this. Let's, here. Go back to here, get this guy. We're going to go down to a 2.5 meter size. Just like that. We'll stick all our science in the inside here. Now, a lot of this I've already collected, but... you know, I've done materials bay about the moon. I've done the goo around the moon. Where am I at? Science. That's what I'm thinking about. See, I can't talk at the same time, but there'll be a little bit more to get. I am going to get, while I'm thinking about it, the cargo tab here. I want... Oh no, there are cargo slots here. Oh, you gotta hit the cargo tab here, silly Billy. Okay, so I do want this experiments kit. This is surface science stuff. We won't do that yet, but that will be some science, new science. That might be my only new science. I believe it is. Get rid of that flag again. There we go. Okay, so what am I thinking about for this thing? This thing's got to go in the moon, got to come back. I got to get my calculator out. I should really get a Delta V map in front of me, but I do have 280, I believe, for a moon capture, times 2 for the part to come back, plus the ejection out to the moon, I think, is 860. You can tell I've done this a few times before. So that's 1420, add about 1,000 to do the upper part of the orbital insertion. And I am looking at... Is there anything I need to do about... Oh, I also have the space around them. There we go. There's our 2 contracts. I'm just making sure there's nothing that's hiding, no fine print. Nope. Okay. So, what'd I say? Yeah, about 2,400 meters per second. I want to build a vehicle that can do that. Let's scale back out. See how this works. Yeah, I'm in a 1.875 meter mood. That. Now, ooh, engines. Oh my gosh, just a Terrier. Put that on vacuum. That's the ballpark I'm looking for. Do I have a TWR that's decent? Yeah, it's a little bit. Might be getting into some engine plates. I saw those. Where are the engine plates? I saw them, I know. I'm pretty sure I saw engine plates. Am I just crazy? Maybe I am. I can always fake engine plates too. I could have sworn I saw... There they are. Where do they keep the engine plates hidden? Oh, whatever. That's the small one. Do I have a 1.8? That's what I'm looking for. Yes. So let's get back to engines. But yeah, I don't know. Wherever. What if I put in... Okay, let's reconfigure this engine plate. Oh, that's just the length. Oh, what am I... My brain, I think, is going to mush. I'm thinking this has multiple nodes on it, but it doesn't. Okay, fine. Well, I can probably get away with this. Why are you being so difficult? There we go. That's all I'm trying to do. Is that hard? That's not hard, is it? Okay, let's try that. That's got to come first. So that's 2230. I've already forgotten the number I'm shooting for. About 2,400, but not enough thrust to weight. What about 2 Terriers then? And then just more. Oh my god. Okay, and then more fuel. This is going to be a little bigger than probably what's necessary, but that's okay. 24, there we go. And thrust to weight, 1.9. That's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, Terriers, let's position. Snap on. Snap on. Boy, it really doesn't want to do it if I put the snap on. It really wants to. There's we go. And then we'll move this so it's a little bigger. Am I doing this completely wrong? Why do I always get this? I don't know why I find engine plates confusing. We're going to test this just to make sure I'm not being a complete doofus McDoofus. Okay, now if I should put a 1 point... Yes, that's the way this is supposed to work. Right? I think so. That should be in with that. That goes with that. 2470, thrust to weight is perfect. Okay. Alright, so now what I want to do is throw that away. Get a couple of bigger engines. See if I can... Oh, but I don't have anything large. What am I even thinking about? I'm making my life way too hard. There we go. That. I don't have... What's my science situation? It's not good. Okay. Never mind. Don't worry about me. Okay, get a Reliant under there. It's not going to be enough. What I'm missing are some of the bigger launch engines. I should have grabbed some when I don't think I have the science. Let's just say this is a Mun Orbiter, but I should have grabbed some bigger engines, some bigger launch engines. My biggest one's still the Reliant, which isn't particularly big if I want to go bigger. Now, I could build something smaller, but I'm in the mood to build something bigger. So, what do I got for science? 57 science. I don't think that's good enough. No, it's 90 for heavy rocketry. This is what I should have gone in there. Okay, never mind. We'll make it work, though. We're going to make it work. Okay, what's happening on the bottom here now? So I'm looking for, again, getting out my calculator. Yeah, about 5,000. Okay, so really building kind of a poor man's booster here. It's kind of like the idea. Not sure how smart this is. And the first, I'm not sure. Sorry, you forgot to add a 0.625 section. I'm not sure. Not sure what that's in reference to, John. I'm realizing that I'm really making a dumb thing here. Oh, wait. Oh, all this has to go the same time, you dork. There we go. Keeps wanting to separate those two. Oh, that's... Okay. I know what will be my friend. Grab this. Is it pretty obvious I have no plan here? Should have kept that. There we go. That's kind of more... It's an ugly thing. Oh, I see, John. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking... Wow, it's a homely beast, but I'm thinking this might work. It's not quite got enough. Actually, I think... Throw these away. Throw these away. Let's try and do this... I might go to the swivels just for some. There. And getting into the correct total delta V range. And I still have a healthy TWR at the bottom. I might switch this over to the swivels, even though they got less thrust, but I don't think I need this thrust, but I want to have that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on. We'll see what happens. This is a definite see what happens type of thing. Let's sneak some reaction wheels into here. I'm just gonna roll. I don't know why it bugs me the way it is. That way. That shouldn't bug me, but it does. And I don't know. I think this is looking kind of all right. I might put some big fins on the bottom. I'm not sure it needs those. Let's try these ones. It's got the swivels. All right, let's give it, what do we got here? I don't have any electricity. I don't have any, yeah, that's kind of silly. So what I think I shall do is the same trick as before. The payload in here. Open that up. Some batteries in there, some solar in there. Struts at the bottom for sure. Yes, I see that, Mark. That was always going to be part of the plan. I'm just sort of just getting the general shape of things up, and then yeah, we will be strutting that bottom up. Because he's referring to, whoops, let's put this back together. Mark is referring to, these are connected, these three here are connected well at this end, but they are really not connected at the bottom, and they will flop all over the place. So you need to grab some struts. Let's do it now while we're thinking about it. Just on three-way symmetry, just across like that'll do the trick. That's all you need to do. Okay, what was I doing up here? I was looking at solar. And I got distracted. Like so. Like so. Okay. All right, I'm a little worried about this connect. You know what? Let's get some struts in there too. I don't know. Sometimes I find when you have narrow waist rockets, the game just seems to be mean to you. So I'm just gonna put in some arbitrary struts down there. Get these looking a little better down here. Delta V is still fine. Okay, don't need RCS. Engine should be good. I'm just gonna check over. It's only 2 stages. Oh, I gotta turn down. Oh, the launch thrust to weight is on the low side. Shoot. Shoot. Okay, I could just put some SRBs down here on the bottom. That might, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna shrink this down. Launch thrust to weight's a little low. It was only like 1.24. Okay, this is all bungled up right now, but we'll worry about that in a bit. So what I think I might just do, this is not going to be pretty. Okay, so this is going to be a mid-stage engine. Struts here. Here, let's put this back to the Reliance again. And then I need a little more Delta V. And I might just, this might look terrible, but I don't care. I might go to some of these. 3-way symmetry. Just some hammers. Wow, that is not... That does not add a lot. Maybe a little stepper up to the thumpers, maybe? Ooh, that feels... Alright. Because I'm looking at the stream and I'm kind of like, rather than playing with something pretty, just go with my dumb design and just try and force it to work. It's kind of like what I'm thinking. Lots of delta V. Just grabbing these, and I'm gonna, no, actually a little, not quite as low as that. That. Grab these. Oh, shoot. Man. Try that again. Slide these down. Grab the decoupler. Move them up. Snap on. So. Yeah! Yeah! Cross-feed the boosters. Meh. No. No, these boosters don't need to be... Not inside there. They're all going at the same time. If these weren't SRBs, yeah, I'm just gonna... I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna launch... Let's launch. I'm in a launchy mood. We'll do some more strutting. Across the bottom here, because this looks a little... Whoops. A little sketchy down there. Delta V is fine. What I may just do... I got a cunning... No. I know. Here. Put these back. No, back where you were. There. Okay, let's turn these... Oh, they're not that. Don't have to get turned down too much. Good. Okay. But I might put these on here and just put them on a very low throttle. Oh, these are Reliance, not swivels. Okay, forget it then. All right. This might be a beast. Let's launch and see what happens. Let's launch and see what happens. Now, Val, sorry, Bill. I'm sorry, Bill. We're going to stick with our scientist. But we're going to go with Val. Val has yet to even be in an orbit. Bill's getting the short end of the stick again. Let's see what happens with this ugly thing. We're running out of time. We got to get it to go. We got to get it to go. Hello, Boris. Welcome. Glad you made it. Hello, General Cat. It's already waffling. It's just the wind, everybody. It's just the wind. I didn't put lights on it or anything. This stands a very good chance of not going well. Okay, let's see what happens. I didn't even put launch clamps. This feels like it should have a higher thrust to weight ratio. Just feels like... Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good. It's an ugly thing. Should have built a smaller orbiter, stayed in the whole 1.25 range all the way down. But I wanted to get into 1.875 meter parts. It looks dumb. It looks dumb. Okay, we're about to lose those SR. I'm deliberately kind of going steep. Now let's start pitching over a little bit. I'm going steep on purpose only because I don't trust the stability of this thing. Let's get back on 90-degree heading. Okay, let's reduce throttle. My apoapsis is up plenty high. This, I probably aired a little bit too much on the steep side, now that I'm looking at it. How much material science is left in here? 4.9 science. Bob will get that in a bit. Yeah, this is not efficient. Not. So if you have something you're worried about, just go steeper. The general rule of thumb, but okay. I'm almost at 81 kilometers on the apoapsis, so we'll just let this thing go up. We'll see. We'll see how much we got left once this thing is in orbit. What'd I say? 280 doubled is 560 plus 860. Oh boy. So that's 1420. I think that sounds familiar. If I have about 1420, hopefully a little more, that should be close to it. Okay, so this time, unlike my relatively efficient launch last time, this is a terrible launch. My periapsis is still very close to Kerbin's core. Negative 580. So I'm gonna be starting this burn, putting it right on the horizon, starting this burn quite early. And yeah, let's go. About 30 seconds away. I'm watching that time to apoapsis. I don't want it to get to 0. But I got a lot. I might have to pitch up a little bit because I'm worried I'm going to get close to 0. I got a lot of periapsis to bring up. Oh, and we're about to lose that stage. Oh, good. That worked. I was worried about how the engine plate was going to work, but it worked fine. Okay. But now I got very little thrust on those 2 pairs of terriers. Push down a bit. Up a bit. Again, I'm really watching that time to apoapsis. I pitch up if I feel like it's ticking down too quick. I don't want it to get to 0. Periapsis is still at, well, just crossed negative 300, so still got a lot of periapsis to be adding. I think I'm doing all right. Okay, let's reduce throttle here. Probably just keep it getting close now. Don't have the lock to prograde yet, Val. Come on. That's part of why we're bringing you along. Okay. Apoapsis is getting away from me, so I just cut throttle there for a little bit. Let this get back down to 0, and we'll just... I still got a lot of fuel. Lots of fuel. Lots of fuel. Alright. Close enough. Open these doors. Expose our solar panels. Oh, our solar panels got a little bit junked up. Oh, I think I had them on. They look fine on this side, but on this side, that's not good. I think I had them on 3-way symmetry while I was putting those all on. So we'll do our non-janky ones. Expose those. Okay. Let's for those people that were picking the specific orbit, now you can see our specific orbit, but that's not where we're going. We're going to the moon, gosh darn it. I got lots of delta V, so this shouldn't be an issue. So it's about 860 to get out there. So I like to put it at about 855 and then just focus my view on the moon and just start tweaking down at this end. So putting it on the maneuver. Putting it on this guy, adjusting the timing. There we go. And I want to come around on the prograde side of the moon this time, because we're going to... normally that's what you do. some retrograde off here. I can step up this timing a bit. Get the periapsis as far to the right on the screen as I can. About there. And then you can pull up back on the retrograde. Save yourself a little bit on the burn. Okay. Gonna go for about a 12-kilometer orbit, I say. Why not? Yeah, there's probably a lot of things wrong with this rocket. Okay, I do have a goo I can do here. When's the burn coming up? 5 minutes. 0.5 science. Come on, Bob. Oh, you know what I do have? Oh my gosh. Golly, gilly, golly. I have the EVA experiment kit. Let's collect this and restore it. Let's get over and get that goo. Restore that. And let's go into our cargo tab. Move this out of the way. And let's grab this, give it to Bob. When you do this, just make sure you don't take away his EVA pack. That's the only thing. And now I can close that. And now Bob has this. I love this experiment. This is fun. Oh, shoot. I meant to look that way. Turn around there. Oh, okay. There we go. So it says perform EVA science. So Bob's going to do us a 0G EVA experiment. A demonstration of what's called the intermediate axis theorem. And that's 25 science. Space near, we'll be able to do that space high. And we'll also be able to do that on moon. Space near and space high. Okay, get down there, Bob. And aboard. Okay. All right, what do we got here? 4 minutes to our burn. It's a 45-second burn. Sounds good to me. Yeah, I'll do that next time, John. John's pointing out something. If you turn off his SAS before doing the experiment, it's kind of fun. Make sure to do it. We'll do that next. But right now, we got ourselves a burn. Yeah, no lights. See, all the stuff I forgot. There we go. Engine plates. What do they come with? They're one of the DLCs, the engine plate that allowed me to put that on there. Really should have to be DLC, but those are pretty handy, as you can see right here with my double terriers and being able to put the nice cowling over them. Okay, just trying to keep it on the maneuver node. Alright, let's watch this from the moon. See it coming. Just do this nice and slow. We should be able to get some EVAs over some more biomes while we're out here too. Okay, so back onto here. Point it up. North is always up, by the way, for those people that don't know. So if you put it on the orange north side line, you'll always be pointing up. Okay. Let's get up to high space, and we'll do another one of those EVA experiment thingies. High space is 250. There we go. Let's get into the sunshine, too. There we go. No limit to how many of these you can do. which is nice. So if I turn off his RCS, and I don't think the SAS, but turn off the RCS, and then just do the perform EVA science when he goes to spin the bolt, you know, physics is in play here. Okay, where's our science? 37.5 science there. Okay, Bob. Oh, I guess I got to put your RCS back on. Get you back home. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. You've gone crazy there, Bob. Just too much of a hurry. All right, board. Yeah, nothing left to do. Just get our... Oh, I guess we could do... What's here? Is it worth looking at? 1.8 science. Why do I scrounge every bit of science but throw money away? I don't know. Okay, last... Can Bob reach down there? Collect. Store. Collect. Restore. Back up you go. Board. Okay. And solar panels. Get some nice exposure. There we go. All right, Moon. Let's go, Moon. So I'll do it from this way. It does slow down the time warp as you approach the Moon's SOI. And then if you look for the Navball switch, you know that was the switch. Okay. We can do another... Well, we can do these. Conduct another one of these now that we're at the Moon. 10.9 science, high over the Moon. Observe the goo. 4.6. EVA Bob. We've already done an EVA report, so there's no sense in that one. Remove the data. Remove the data. Oh, I didn't reset it. And restore. And restore. And another one of our EVA experiments. Boop. Oh, I've done the EVA report, of course. The EVA science. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And how much is this going to get us? And this same experiment can be done on... That's 50. This same experiment can be done on the Moon, too. Except he pulls out a golf club on the Moon. But it's the same experiment kit. Board. I was missing the board button. Okay, so we got that. Okay, let's do our capture. It changed again a little bit, but 10.6 kilometers is fine. This should be around 280. So we'll see what we get. Once the app and pair start to move a little bit, you know you're close. Let's play with the timing. And for those people who never noticed, this is giving us what our predicted apoapsis and periapsis will be if this is on the maneuver, which is nice. 270.4, so plenty of delta V. A 12-second burn. Nah, we'll do that. Okay, so F5. Always F5 before I do some... Oh, we can just do this. Boink. Down we go. Stick that onto retrograde. Now I wish I did have some lights on this thing, but I don't because I didn't. And because it's a shortish burn at 12 seconds, I mean, one thing I could do is just bring down the thrust limiter to increase the length of the burn. And you can certainly burn a 12-second burn, but when it gets shorter like this, what I kind of like to do is I'll start the burn at 12 seconds before we get to the... This thing that says start burn in, I'll start it at 12 seconds before, and then I'll go at half throttle. And I find I just have better control. The cockpit lights, that's true. I could put on the cockpit lights. Okay, so go up to half throttle. And what I'm looking at more is this apoapsis periapsis business more than anything else. And start reducing the throttle here a bit. About 10 by 10. Close enough. Noticing, yeah, I'm noticing this one's starting to dip down. I'm just going to leave it. It's good. It's ducky. It's fine. And put it here. Now, we caught a few. Oh, we got our Explore the Moon contract done. That's good. We still have to bring back some science. I should actually... Now, before we did EVA reports over Midlands, Highlands, Lowlands. Oh, there we go. That's Midlands again. Okay, so let's get back inside. We can still do this. Conduct a material study. A little bit more science. We can do this one. A little bit more science. Why don't we take a look at and do some Oh, I never brought an antenna. I can't transmit. Okay. I did not bring an antenna. This was such a slap-together build. Okay. Sometimes these darker craters, like this one, could... Oh, then again, it's been retextured. Let's get ourselves over that. Sometimes that's one of those there Mooner craters. EVA, or what do you call them? Midland craters, or something like that. EVA report. Nope, just lowlands. Okay. Just looking for a new biome to get. And then we'll do the... Here we go. We got this guy coming up. Ooh, that might be... Let's do another one real quick. EVA. Nope, still Midlands. Okay. But what we'll do another one of those EVA experiments. Let's do it again with the RCS off. Perform EVA science. And how much is this one going to be for us? 75 science. Oh, the cockpit lights are on. Let's get back. Leaving wing nuts all over the place. Push the view button. Oh my gosh. So we're not going to be able to transmit science. We're going to have to wait till we bring it home because I neglected to put on an antenna. But I do see a biome coming up here. You can see it from here. There's definitely a crater-ish thing. I'm hoping I'm in it enough. Let's see. Oh, for goodness. That's the East Farside Crater. I've already done that. I did that when we were here before. Okay, let's try if these might be something. He says dubiously. There we go. Midland craters. Hooray. So we'll board that. Now you can obviously get more biomes if you put yourself into a more inclined orbit than this. Oh, here's one here for sure. In fact, if you put yourself in a polar orbit, you can ultimately get all the biomes. But I'm honestly not that concerned about that. I'm just getting what I can. There's definitely something here. EVA report. There we go. 24 more science there. So we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. More importantly, though, we did get our We did get our contract done to explore the moon. We still have to get them back, but I'm kind of looking at the time of the stream, and we're getting a really, really pretty Earthrise right here. So I'm thinking that perhaps this might be a good time to sort of draw this stream to a close. We'll start off picking up right from here. Next week, we'll look at getting these folks back home. Then we'll do that orbital insertion one that was the second place finisher, and they finished in second. It didn't lose, even though there was just two things in the poll. But I think that will all be for next week. So in the meantime, I'm going to thank everybody in the chat. Going to thank everybody watching this in a later date. Going to do a very, very special thank you, of course, to all of my Patreon patrons and YouTube members. We'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.